Okay, so here we go. We've taken on from the last tutorial. We're now going to work on the AC unit main box here. So let's just click on this and let's isolate it so we can see it on its own. Now what we'll do is, because we were editing it with a little bit of scale and depth, I want to make sure all the surfaces are right angles. And you might want to do this when you start with any kind of primitive. So we're going to go to settings and reset Xform and then reset selected. Okay, back to your modify section, you'll see it's got Xform there. So what we can do is we can right click there and collapse all. Okay, so now we know it's all perfectly flat and smooth, and there's no anomalies with the polygons, and everything's right angled. Right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to select the edges. So select edge mode and select the edges here. And as you look at that reference material, there's a slight chamfer here. We're going to be adding the chamfers on the corners. We're also going to be adding some detail around the top, and we're then going to create the side panel, which is slightly beveled and extruded here with a handle, and the electrical box, which is here. Okay. So let's start off with this then. So let's chamfer that, and we can just give it something like that. It's just fine. Okay, so now I've got a bit of detail on the corners. Right, so the next thing we can do is we'll select all the edges here. Front. Okay, and we're going to connect. Okay, we want two. Go. And we want them to be something like that. Okay, so 74, 2, we've got 2 there. And then we're going to chamfer these. And we're going to give them a bit of depth. Too thick. Something like that. Okay. Then what we'll do is we'll go to where's that's Swift Loop. So it's edit Swift Loop, and we want to create a little one there. Okay, and then we will add another one just so it's near enough the right. Okay, so what we've done here, we've got some detail, added some detail now to this. And what we'll do now is we're going to join some of these edges. So we'll go to the vertices. What we're going to do, we're going to cut there we go, cut. And we're going to all we're going to do is join these, that one to that one. We're going to do the same here. Okay, so don't forget, right click to deselect. And we're going to do it underneath. Cut. Now the reason we're doing this is because we want to have this section here. Okay, we've got some sections there. I think that's about right. Okay. So what we'll do now is we will looks like if you get this kind of icon there, it looks like cut still selected. So deselect that faces, and we're going to just click on these areas here. Okay, because we're going to make these kind of slightly indented. Okay, and then what we'll do is we'll have a look underneath as well, and we'll just do these as well. Okay. What we'll do now is we will add a bevel here. Now, if this happens and it goes a bit crazy, just go to the top area here and go local normal, and it'll bring it in so it's all, as you can see, it's on the right axis now, but which obviously we need to bring this in a tiny bit. So let's have a look at this. So we can it's a bit tricky. You just take your time with this. There we go, something like that. Okay, so if you just give it a quick render, you can see you've got some nice detail now on the aircon unit itself. Okay. So if I look at our reference, we've just now got the chamfered edges here and some of the detail around here like this. So now we need to kind of work on this section here. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll add a where is it? Swift loop. We're going to try and add a little bit of a swift loop here. So we'll do something like this. And we'll bring one a bit further down. Like that. And we need one here as well, so it goes up a little bit there. Okay. So it's a bit tricky. Okay, we'll do something like that. Okay, so what we want to do now then is just go to our faces. Okay, and we want to select these faces here. Also, let's look at our reference again. yeah, we'll pull that out a little bit there, and then we'll go back and extend this. Yeah, so yes, we will have that bit there. Okay. So what we'll do now is we will, because that's flat there, so we want to kind of bevel it out a little bit. So we'll go to bevel, and we will just give it a tiny bevel so it's sitting quite proud of the unit itself, just like your reference is here. We can chamfer these afterwards. Okay, if you're happy with that, just click OK on the tick box. Okay, so the next thing we're going to need to look at is the handle here. So we need to create some vertical connect additional geometry here, and also so vertically and horizontally as well. So let's have a little look at this. So we've got, what I might do is bring, let's do this first. So let's go to my edges. Okay, let's select all of these. I've selected too many there. Just so we can see what we're doing. It's just these ones we want at the front. There we go. And then we need to connect, if you remember before, and also we want two, but we're trying to create the depth here for the handle, so that the width is equal. So something like that is okay. And then also we need a swift loop. Come on, where are you? There you go. And we want to bring it down about there like that. Okay. So we can kind of get rid of this one. So if we double click on that, it should take it away. And if we remove that, okay, so now we've got our little aperture for our handle. So let's go to our faces. Let's click on that, and then let's just have a look at that in more detail. So let's now extrude that, but we want to go backwards, don't we? Okay. So we'll go once, and then we'll extrude it again, but we're going to go a little bit further back this time, give a bit more detail, because what I want to do is grab this edge and bring it down, so it's got a little lip there. Okay, so edges, click on that, and then I'm just going to bring it down. Okay, so you're creating a handle with a bit of an edge, as it is here. Okay, so if you render that, you'll be able to see you've got some handle going on. Okay. Okay, so now we need to work on so we've done this, we've done that, we've done the little bevel extrusion there, we've got the handle, just need to work on this. So again, now we need to create a couple more swift loops, one here and one there, and then we're going to cut the diagonal line there. Okay, so let's go to our edit, if it'll let me do it. There we go, swift loop. So we've got, let's go like that, and we've already got one down there, so that's fine. Oh, hold on, that's okay, but we need one down here, don't we? That's okay, right, because we want to create the diagonal here now. So what I'm going to do now is go back to my vertices, okay, and I'm going to cut. See that it? Come on, there we go. I'm going to cut these. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go from, let's have a look at that reference again. So it's a bit wider than the handle, so it's nearly as wide as the first bit of beveling we did, extrusions there on the first panel we extruded. So it's going to be, let's have a look. So I'm going to go from here all the way to, ooh, where do I go then? To there, and then right click to stop. Okay, so now we've got a nice triangular, well, there's the diagonal line, which if we look at our reference, it's that part there. Okay, so all we need to do now is go to faces, and we are going to select these pieces here, because we're going to be pulling out, there we go, it's fine. Okay, so now we're going to extrude these out like so. It's probably a bit too much, so you can always go back. Okay, and we'll OK that. So now we've got our little panel, but as you can see, if we render it, it's quite sharp. I mean, we want it to be nice and rounded, like our reference is here. So what we're going to do is going to go to edges, and we're going to select all the edges that we need to chamfer. Okay, so we might take a little bit of time to do this. Just make sure you get them all. And just keep having a look at this. It's that one, that one, that one, that one. I think I've got them all now. You'll soon find out when when you go to extrude it or chamfer or whatever, and you realise if you're missing a point. I think I've got everything there. So all I'm going to do now is to create that nice organic shape, is to chamfer like it is here. So let's have a little look. Let's get a bit closer up. Now you can put more geometry into it, which will give it more of a rounded feel, but oh, I've lost it now. I'm not going to. I'm going to keep it as one. Just get the other one. Okay. Okay, so now you can see we've got some nice detail all the way around our extruded electrical box with the handle, and that's great. So let's give it a quick render. You can see it's quite nice there. Okay, so what we could do now is let's go to our vertices, and just to finish off, let's see if we can use a new tool which is called Target Weld, and let's see if we can just tidy this up a little bit. So we can do that. Put that there. Oh, and this is just really just trying to reduce some of the geometry we don't need. Oh. If you lose it, just go back. Okay. Okay, and we can do that to there. Okay, just so it tidies things up a little bit. Okay, yeah, okay, so look over here now. We're nearly there really, we're just going to tidy things up a touch. Can I do that there? No, I don't want to do that, do I? Okay, so let's see if we can. Okay, so if you find you've got lots of vertices here and that they're pointing in the wrong direction, or you want to just tidy things up, you can do that by using the target weld tool. Okay, so let's leave it there. So there we go. So let's go back to the poly. Let's have a quick render of that. Okay, and you can see we've got some nice detail now, and it's starting to look a little bit like this. Okay, we've got some detail in. Now you can do, if you wanted to, at the top. Let's go back to this. So why don't we just finish it off by all I'm going to do now is to chamfer the top, because why not? You know, give it some nice shape, and just to finish off the detail really. If everything else has got some nice chamfered corners, let's finish off the top of the unit accordingly. Okay, let's double check we've got all those selected there, and again just a quick chamfer, and it'll remember what you've done before. So okay, so quick render. Okay, we've got some nice detail there. Let's have a closer look. Okay, too bad. Right, so what we can do now is we've clicked on that. Now what we can do is we can go down to let's smooth this out before we finish off. So what we can do is, let's see if we can add a smooth modifier to it. Let's see if we've got a smooth modifier. Smooth. And then we can just pick a smooth group. Can we auto smooth? Okay, so it doesn't look as if it's done much, but what that will have done will have taken any excess geometry that wasn't correct, and it would smooth it out for you, so it's all ready to go. The geometry is perfect now. Okay, so don't forget to collapse it once you've done that, so it takes it back to editable poly. Okay, and there we go. There is our AC unit done. And if we unisolate the feet, and have a quick render of that. Okay, it's starting to look quite nice. Okay, so there's a few more techniques and skills and you've picked up there, including the target weld, swift loops, etc. So we're going to leave it there, and on the next tutorial I'll work on the hole in the unit with the grill and the blades, etc. before we finish off. Okay.